Yeah. Skin reads the room before the room knows it's being read. Every nerve a little prophet, every follicle a thread, woven into something larger, something humming past the skull. I catch the frequency of waiting, even silence has a pull. Walk the edge of my own eyelids, world refracts in real time. Colors carry temperature, shadows keep the same line. Running since before me, I just learned to read the seams. Breathing deep enough to feel I've always lived between dreams. The body clock's a stranger from the pressure shift they make. Fills the room till half a degree before the first word breaks. Wet air off a coming storm before the forecast knew. I've been reading atmospheres that most folks never move through. Ribs expanding somewhere in the hollow something rings. Not a sound exactly, more the residue of things that passed too close to name but left their outline on the air. I don't chase it, just stand still, let it know that I'm aware. You ever been so present that the present felt like myth? Like standing on a word you haven't spoken on a lip. Everything at once and all your senses sending gifts you never asked for, never earned, just gifted. You ever been so present that the present felt like myth? Like standing on a word you haven't spoken on a lip. Everything at once and all your senses sending gifts you never asked for, never earned, just gifted. Third eye, running the perimeter while center sleeps on post. The margin is the manuscript, the surface is a ghost. Touch a wall and feel the century inside the brick. The grief, an argument and laughter sealed in plaster underneath. The optic nerve moonlights as a divine arrive for depth. I read the room in negative space, punctuation of the breath. Senses bleed together seamless, no gate can hold the flood. The sound of dusk is amber, either way the colder loaded weights. Signaling the tremor of the wrist, the data in the jaw. The way a body braces half a second before the floor. If someone's story surfaces, the micro tension in the eye. I read the weather in a person long before they say goodbye. Not surveillance, it's surrender. Tune the frequencies of now. The world writes over itself in layers, only stillness allows. Every room a palimpsest of everything it held before. I've been translating thresholds, learning how to read a door. You ever been so present that the present felt like myth? Like standing on a word you haven't spoken on the lip. Everything at once and all your senses sending gifts you never asked for, never earned, just gifted. You ever been so present that the present felt like myth? Like standing on a word you haven't spoken on the lip. Everything at once and all your senses sending gifts you never asked for, never earned, just gifted. Deeper in the quiet, where the quiet gets specific. A hinge creaks and I clock the age of that house inside it. Rain hits different surfaces and I hear the inventory. Glassed and graveled in the roof, then the leaves mid-story. The light moves through here different, doesn't land much as probe. Crosses the room mid-question, touching everything to know. I watch it work the textures and I understand the task. Everything that's visible is everything that light is asked. I see attention as appetite, the hungrier to watch, the brighter to burn. But the gift comes with blades, you start to mourn the years you slept. Watching life leak out in 4K while half awake and blurred. Every frame you miss now cuts permanent behind opened eyes. So I move slow, unhurried at the threshold of each nerve. Each hour a load of texts, it's meaning that the verge. The world was never mute, it had a score the whole duration. I just learned to hear the breath inside the punctuation.
All of it was always there. The static was a signal. I'm not enlightened, just awake enough to feel the hinge turn.